Welcome to TMZ Live. The Bill Cosby saga is not over. We obtained documents in an active civil case in which Bill Cosby admitted in a deposition that he got a refill of Quaaludes 7 times from a gynecologist at a poker table, no less, and that he never took a single Quaalude.
And never intended to take a single Quaalude, and he admitted that basically this was the reason he got these Quaaludes was to give them to women so that he could have sex with them.
Exactly, and this is what the woman suing him is saying happened to her, and it is just a shocking admission. His deposition is sealed, and that means we can't read it, we can't see it. For some reason, it's sealed, but there are other legal documents in the various motions here that reference those quotes, and they quote from that deposition.
That's exactly right. This is a massive case. It's a civil suit going on with a woman named Donna Motzinger, who said she was sexually assaulted by Cosby in 1972. She said she was given a round white pill that she thought was an aspirin, ended up being drugged and sexually assaulted, according to her. In his deposition, he said that he had this active recreational prescription for Quaaludes that he didn't take, but that he got from a gynecologist named Dr. Leroy Amar at a poker game that Cosby hosted at his house back in the early 70s,
That's crazy.
prior to 1972.
Crazy.
It's pretty nuts.
By the way,
he's a disgraced physician.
Is it crazy? So he's sitting around, and by the way, I'm not defending Bill Cosby in any way, but you're describing the scene. It's the 70s. Bill Cosby's having a poker game and there's a doctor who's probably part of the crew, and he turns to his doctor friend and is like, "Hey, can you get me some Quaaludes?"
You're right.
It is a product of the times. I agree.
I will concede. You're absolutely right. And as a matter
in
of
the
fact,
70s.
As a matter of fact, we have done a documentary about Michael Jackson. There's a famous doctor named Arnie Klein who was shooting Jackson up with Demerol. But he would actually bring a candy bowl of Quaaludes to parties that celebrities were throwing as party favors, and this was back then too. So I guess you're right. That's kind of the drill.
That doctors did, but
it's not clear the doctor knew that Cosby was going to use them to drug women. I don't think we can say that.
Cosby did admit that the doctor knew he wasn't going to, that Cosby himself wasn't going to take it.
Right.
Yeah, Cosby didn't intend to take these. Says he didn't take them.
But back then, nobody knew all the allegations against Cosby.
That's right. This was early 70s.
This is before the Cosby Show.
Way before the Cosby Show. The alleged assault is in 1972, and the poker game is before that.
By the way, the doctor had his license revoked in California for gross negligence and incompetence. I don't believe it was about Cosby because nobody knew about Cosby. There were probably other things he did.
Right.
So a long time ago, he had his license revoked.
That's right. And Cosby apparently said he didn't know how many women he ended up giving the Quaaludes to, or how many he had sex with over the years with this prescription in hand, but this is pretty explosive stuff. And, it's similar to something that happened with the Andrea Constant case back in the day.
So this is a lawsuit she's filing against Cosby.
He's trying to get it dismissed.
And he's trying to get it dismissed?
Right. He's trying to get it dismissed. She is opposing that, obviously. There's a showdown in court in a couple of days. I am not trying to besmirch gynecologists, but I just mentioned Arnie Klein.
Yes.
Right.
That he was shooting Michael Jackson up with Demerol. There was a point where it became so flagrant what he was doing in his office with Jackson that he took Jackson to a gynecologist's office in the same building and shot him up with Demerol there. He said to the gynecologist, I need a room, and he actually did it. Not besmirching gynecologists.
No. But there are doctors who fawn over celebrities. Celebrities have a lot of power, and sometimes doctors like to rub elbow with the rich and famous, and this is the way to do it sometimes.
It is a huge issue in Hollywood, where celebrities know how to doctor shop, get what they want.
Matthew Perry's another example.
Matthew Perry is a great example. I mean, this is...
So if you're Bill Cosby, how do you not settle this case? I mean, maybe they're not willing to settle, but...
My recon, and I got recon literally 15 minutes ago, this case will not settle. It's going to go to trial. Will not settle.
How in the world does Bill Cosby think he's going to, before a jury?
He might win on summary judgment. He's trying to get the case thrown out before there's a jury trial.
But
if he doesn't win,
it's going to trial.
Yeah.
And what jury, knowing everything that is known now about Bill Cosby and his habits, how does he think he's possibly going to win that?
Well, I will say, Bill Cosby now, we're told, is pretty much blind.
He's 88 years
infirmed,
old.
And, you know, you see this
This is a
infirmed
sympathy
guy.
thing?
Well, I don't know. I mean, but
I guess
But
maybe.
do you want to spend the last years of your life in a courtroom where these allegations
I'm
are being
telling
hurled
you,
at you?
Bill Cosby was
got a lot of money.
Bill Cosby was also blind when he was walking into court when he was convicted.
That's true.
Correct.
That's
So-
true. And by the way, that conviction overturned.
Overturned.
Well,
yeah.
it
Yeah.
was.
It was about a prosecutor's promise, though, not on the merits.
Right, but the prosecutor did make a promise.
Yes.
The
All right,
prosecutor did-
all right, counselors. All right.
Hi, I'm Lindsay from St. Louis, and I think that Bill Cosby, we've heard the story so many times about how he has these Quaaludes, and we've been hearing this since like 2015. He got out of prison not too long ago, but now he's kind of back on trial. And the fact that they won't settle kind of shows me that this person, whoever's bringing this up, they have really good evidence. I would imagine that you don't bring up a case against Bill Cosby without some really stern evidence and things that you can really bring to trial and show that he is guilty. And so I'm just saying this, as a spectator. I don't know the actual evidence or anything, but I think that if you're not willing to settle and that you have this agenda, I think that him getting out of prison and trying to gain sympathy from the public, like saying that he's got health issues or like blind, and they said like he saved his house from foreclosure recently, like all of that stuff that they've had in the media recently, trying to turn his image around. This goes right back to the things that we saw in the past.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, Nicki Minaj's fans or former fans and her detractors can say all they want about her being MAGA, about her supporting President Trump. She doesn't care. In fact, not only did she show up at a big flashy event for him last night in Washington, D.C., she showed up with her checkbook, if she actually has that anymore. I don't know if you have a checkbook.
I do have a checkbook.
I've actually seen you write a check in here. It's
I have a
weird.
checkbook.
It's very weird to see that. It's off-putting. But yes, she showed up and made it clear that she was not only going to support him, but she was going to spend a lot of money to support him.
I am probably the president's #1 fan. And that's not going to change. And the hate or what people have to say, it does not affect me at all. It actually motivates me to support him more. And it's gonna motivate all of us to support him more. We're not going to let them get away with bullying him and, the smear campaigns. It's not going to work, okay? He has a lot of force behind him, and God is protecting him.
So keep talking, and she's going to keep spending. The number that was thrown out last night was somewhere between $150,000 to $300,000.
So the question
she plans
for
to
what? For what?
To drop into Trump accounts.
But what
are the Trump accounts?
For the 2028 election. For his,
Yeah, what are the
what I
Trump
mean.
accounts? So this event was for the Trump accounts. What is that
the
exactly?
Trump accounts are them giving $1,000 to newborn babies, so they can have a savings account that then they can add to if they wish.
Right, that's one of the things he's pushing.
Yeah, that's Trump accounts.
But how's that a Trump account?
Good branding.
mean,
He's a good
everything.
brander.
Good branding.
So he gets credit for
Look,
it.
on
He
the-
gets credit.
I mean, there's
Right.
Obamacare, so he's got Trump accounts.
On the bigger issue,
Yeah.
I gotta say that look, no matter how you stand, when you stand for something, half the country hates you.
Yes.
So that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
And at a point, you can say I fundamentally disagree with her or agree with her, but I kind of like the fact that people are just kind of declaring now, because one of the things that has really struck me over the last month is fear. That people are afraid to speak
Yeah.
because of repercussions.
Yeah.
And, and I will say that Donald Trump has made that clear. He goes after people he doesn't like and people who are his enemies. And people are afraid to talk. So whether it's on his side
Right.
or against him, I just feel like this country is being motivated by fear. Legislators are fearful. People are fearful.
Right.
I mean, there are people who witnessed the killing of Alex Preddy on Saturday who are afraid
Who
to
are
come
afraid to say
forward.
it. Right.
And it's like, this is crazy. And that we shouldn't be afraid. And at least, look, I mean, whether you agree with it or not,
Right.
everybody, don't be afraid to take a
Right.
stand.
Hi, so I am Jada Reed. I'm here based in Atlanta, and I think you guys make some really good points. It is quite dystopian, what we're seeing, especially after all the news that we saw this weekend. But I agree. I think it's exactly what you said. I think people are starting to declare. We are getting very straightforward answers as to where everybody stands. And I think we'll be better for it, right? There's clarity now around what's happening. And with Nicki Minaj and Donald Trump, they seem to be getting along swimmingly. Even after her statement, they held hands behind the podium.
Oh, yeah. Hey, here's the deal.
spoke.
You tell him you love him, you got a friend forever.
Yeah, and by the way, it's an election year. You're going to see Nicki Minaj out campaigning for, you know, people in Congress and Senate who are running.
Yep.
Coming up.
Piper Rockelle, who has been extremely popular on social media for 10 years. She turned 18 recently, and this month decided
She went the way of the world.
that she was going to join
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
What's the nature of the content?
Just go find out. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna tell you the ending of the book.
Be right back.
Welcome back to TMZ Live. We're calling in backup because Talia knows.
She knows a lot.
She knows a lot, particularly about our guest who's about to join us, Piper Rockelle, who has been extremely popular on social media for 10 years.
I'd say
So
even more.
The
I've been
Piper
following
Squad.
Piper for a while.
Did you followed the Piper Squad?
I do follow the Piper Squad.
For half her life.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
It is basically
I'm
half
not,
your life.
Yeah, it is half my life.
But Piper has made a change in her social media profile because she turned 18 recently and this month decided
She went the way of the world.
that she was going to join OnlyFans. And apparently it is very, very profitable so far.
This is so shocking, folks. She made $3 million in 24 hours.
One day. So if you're wondering why she's doing it, maybe that is the answer. Maybe
think-
there's more to it.
I think that's it. We can wrap.
There could be more to it. So without further ado, joining us right now is Piper herself, Piper Rockelle. Welcome to TMZ Live. How you doing?
Hi, everybody. Oh my gosh. Okay. How's everyone doing?
We're very good. So you launched January 1st.
Yeah.
So who exactly were the people paying the $3 million? Are they people who followed you
A
as
total of $3 million. No one paid.
Are they people who followed you as a kid? Are they adults who were just kind of pining for you to turn 18? Exactly who is the audience?
You know, that's a great question. I don't really try to think about that too much because I think at the end of the day, I'm just here to show people more love and support. And I know who I am and I know that I'm a good person and I keep my life pretty positive on the outside, but I'm also really real with people. I think I have a very amazing, wide, supporter group or whatever, or even people who don't support. Like on TikTok, I have so many amazing girl best friends on there. Like I just feel like I'm really for the girls on TikTok. And then Instagram, I feel like I do kind of aim more towards a wider audience. But I mean, I really don't know. And I don't really care. As long as I'm showing them more love and that I appreciate them, that's all I need.
So you said that you on TikTok it was mainly female audience. You said a wider net on Instagram. What does that mean exactly?
That means males.
Yeah.
Well, sure, yeah. But I do think that TikTok is mainly for my girls. And, this decision was very, very hard for me because, of course, I was thinking about it for, right when I turned 18, I was like, what am I going to do? Of course, I didn't do it right when I turned 18. A lot of people, say that to me, but that's not what I did. I waited and I really tried to make sure this is what I wanted. Because this is a life-changing thing and this is not for everybody. I constantly let everyone know that this is not going to change their life like it has changed or impact my life because, my whole life has been publicized. You're not just going to make $1 million in an hour if you just start an OnlyFans, you know what I mean? And I don't want people to think that ever. So I'm very realistic with all of them. And I'm just listen, I feel like everything was meant to be and low-key everything happened for a reason. And I couldn't be more grateful.
So we got to ask this. What's the nature of the content? Yeah, I mean, everybody's wondering. What exactly do you do and not do?
Well, I kind of just go find out. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna tell you the ending of the book. You know what I mean? Go go try
She's
it
in
if you
promo
want
mode.
to. You don't have to.
She's
You
in
know what I
promo
mean?
mode. Yeah.
I'm not gonna like. What do you like? I'm not gonna spoil it. Why would I want to spoil it? You know what I mean? If I'm going to be putting myself in this kind of group of in this industry, you know, I'm obviously going to get everything that I am imagining from it, and you know, I'm gonna promote it and do everything I can to really get the most out of this time in my life, because I'm beyond grateful for how everything is right this second.
So since you're not giving away all of the details right now, you are providing a service and selling something. Aside from being on OnlyFans and selling and giving, you know, the people a product of content, what are you getting out of the OnlyFans aside from money?
I'm just kind of getting my freedom. I feel like for a very long time of my teenage years, I was constantly getting told, you know, that I looked like this, or I did this wrong, or that I wasn't acting my age. You know, I've been getting told that I wasn't acting my age since I was 7 years old. Even when I was acting my age, you know, I've been getting told that my whole entire life. And it's all cool. This is just the person that I am. I've always been told that. I've always been told that I'm doing something wrong, or that I shouldn't be showing my body like this. But it was kind of just like a big, like, you know what I mean? It's just funny. It makes me fun. It's just funny. I feel free and like I can do whatever I want because I'm 18 years old and nobody really can tell me different, I guess.
Piper, to that point, I know that when you had the squad, that your mom was involved in your career, right? She's sort of, in Hollywood, you'd say she was a momager.
I have never claimed that she was a momager. She's never been my momager. I've always had a manager and people always, you know, protecting my business and stuff like that. And yeah, so she's never been my momager, and I just try to keep my family as private as possible, especially as I get older, because, you know, it's crazy what the world can do.
So I'm just wondering if, you're right, you're an adult, you can make your decisions. I'm wondering if your parents have weighed in, have they given you any advice? How did they feel about you making this decision?
They're all very, very, very supportive of me, honestly. Like, they just genuinely, I couldn't ask for a better support around me, because they just were completely like, Piper, it's up to you, it's your decision, whatever you want to do. But they all kind of knew that this is kind of what I wanted to do, but of course I'm also a little indecisive, so I was like, but I think because I am so young, I have a lot of life to live if I, you know, keep myself healthy, and, you know, I don't plan on doing this forever, but I want to at least try it out for a second.
Do you have a boyfriend?
I don't have a boyfriend, no.
Is that an issue on whether somebody would be okay knowing that you're kind of putting yourself out there? Just because, you know, we've done a documentary on OnlyFans. It's an issue for some people.
Absolutely, I know it is. But so I actually got out of a relationship about like a few months ago, and it was great and stuff like that. But I really do think, you know, I love love, but I don't just like date around. I really don't at all. So I'm gonna just stay to myself. I don't talk to people. I don't do anything like that because I'm just a very simple person, and I'm good with myself at the end of the day. You know what I mean? I'm gonna die alone anyways, so I'm just gonna be, you know, working for my future every single day.
Wow, I'm gonna die alone. That's
Wow, at 18,
I mean, it's
that
true
is-
though.
that
Like,
is some
you're
cynicism.
alone,
I mean,
you're
it's
gonna die
my
alone.
life.
Crazy stuff.
I mean, it's true.
You know, you cannot, every day I'm like proven to not trust people more and more. You know, every time I do think that there's a decent person in this world, they always do something like that really just makes me feel like, ugh, that's crazy. And then I think to myself, I'm like, you know, I'm a good person. I might do OnlyFans, but at least I'm a good person and I'm a decent person to people. And that's honestly the best thing that I can ever be, is a decent person to other people, because like, it's crazy. People are crazy.
Okay,
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Your cynicism might have topped his at 18.
I am
He was
so-
cynical at 6.
I am so fascinated by you. I'm going to try one other thing. You know, when you go to a movie theater, there are previews, right? You won't even give us a preview. Can I at least ask this? Are you a solo act on OnlyFans?
I'm actually having my first collab coming up, the 30th, I think it's coming out. I'm having a collab post. I'm really excited about that. But I mean, I do most of my content alone because I think that that's how I kind of want it to be. But I'm always open for collabs, and, you know, I'm always open for anything. I don't judge. I'm open for anything.
All right.
Okay.
Wow.
This was fascinating.
Said. Piper, thank you so much.
Thanks,
It's been
Piper.
Thank you.
Nice getting
Well,
to know
thank
you.
you guys so much for having me. It was amazing, and I hope you guys stay safe, and I'm so grateful for this opportunity.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Coming up.
There's a trial going on right now. The Alexander brothers, they're realtors. Well, they are accused of sex trafficking, doing some really awful things to some women. But what has come up in the trial, what a witness testified to, was that the brothers essentially dangled Zac's name as bait.
Be right back. TMZ's got every freaking thing. Big celebs, big stories, big events.
Phoebe Rexha was looking hot on vacation.
Look at the water, too. Did you just say look at the water?
I mean, I'll be honest, that is what I was looking at.
TMZ.
Zac Efron's name came up in New York City, and not in a way that I'm sure he's pleased about, but there is a trial going on right now. The Alexander brothers, they're realtors. Well, they are accused of sex trafficking, of doing some really awful things to some women, but what has come up in the trial, what a witness testified to, was that the brothers essentially dangled Zac's name as bait to get them to hang out with him because they apparently know Zac, and they would say, at least one victim testified, that when they met, they're out at a restaurant or something, and they said, hey, do you want to come back with us to our friend Zac Efron's
Essentially,
house?
you're going to meet Zac.
Right.
Now, we
And
should make it clear.
he's
Zac
not
Efron
accused
is
of
not
anything.
accused of anything untoward in this case.
Right.
But they're using him kind of as bait.
According to the witness,
According
that's
to the witness.
what happened, and that they went back to Zac's place. They did actually meet Zac, but again, he's not accused of anything. Clearly, according to this witness, these guys knew what they were doing when they said, oh, we know Zac Efron. And so he, in a way, he's victimized here, I think, in that
I mean, I think that's right.
they're smearing his name.
This woman.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
And again, this is the trial is ongoing right now, but
You know what's funny? It's like, this is sort of like, I mean, this is what happens in Hollywood. It's these name drops. Yeah. I mean, that happened in the Blake Lively case with Taylor Swift, where she says she's dropping my name all over town.
Yes.
So this is a thing that really happens with celebrities. In this case, you don't want to be in the middle of a criminal case.
Right.
Hi, this is Ken from Kansas City. I agree that this is a very twisted family affair, and the name drops, unfortunately, do happen with celebrities, and is highlighting why it's so important that celebrities are very diligent about who's in their inner circle. So although Zac, at this time that we know of, is innocent, it would be nice and beneficial for him to speak up and support the victim, because the defense lawyer's response is definitely spewing the toxic rhetoric that, unfortunately, a lot of real victims have to deal with.
Yeah, I mean, look, we don't know what Zac even saw, so it's unclear whether he'd even be a witness.
I don't even know how close he was with these guys.
That's right.
Or if they're just, you know what I mean, like...
He may not know. We don't know.
Clearly, I would think he doesn't have any clue what was going on, these crimes that they're accused of.
Right. Martha Stewart is one put-together woman. Put together in the sense she literally will not go down her stairs without being fully made up, and that includes exercise. When she goes to the gym, she is all dolled up, and she has a reason.
3 alarms. I go to the gym every morning at 6:30, so I have to be out of the house at 6:15.
So what time do you set your
So
alarm?
I set my alarm for 5:45. That gives me time to take a shower, make the cappuccino for me and my driver.
You're showering before the gym.
Oh, gosh, yes. I would never go to the gym without showering. Ever.
Wait, that's so crazy.
Well, you would get out of bed and go to the gym?
Martha, I would get out of the bed and go a lot of places, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I would never go anywhere. I would not leave my second floor of my house.
She goes on to say that she could meet a guy.
Yeah,
she could meet a guy.
Into someone.
And
I think it's look. I don't know what. That makes no sense. I'm sorry. I have no standing to question Martha Stewart on social etiquette.
But
nobody showers before they go to the gym.
Let me just say, I knew about this, and I went to the gym this morning early, like her.
Right. And you were sniffing people to see who showered and who didn't?
No, I wasn't doing that, but I was looking around, and I realized that most of the people there, even that early, are kind of put together. I'm not.
Right.
But, I mean, they comb their hair, they are put together. And it really stunned me because I didn't really think about this generally, but it's kind of true.
I mean, look, it is definitely true that some people go to the gym, yes, to work out, but primarily they're there for social reasons. You go just to work out. You work out, and you
both
happen to talk to some people. You go to work out.
I learned sports.
They are. But if you're going to socialize, then I guess
take a shower.
Maybe showering before just makes me think you're not actually working out.
Coming up,
Spencer Pratt, who is running for mayor of LA, has a few things he wants to confess, and he has done so in a book. Now, I don't know if the timing of this book is because he was running or if this book was coming out anyway. It's called The Guy You Love to Hate. Interesting that he put it in past tense.
Be right back.
Welcome back to TMZ Live. Candidate Pratt, Spencer Pratt, who is running for mayor of LA, has a few things he wants to confess, and he has done so in a book. Now, I don't know if the timing of this book is because he was running or if this book was coming out anyway. It's called The Guy You Love to Hate. Interesting that he put it in past tense. The guy you loved to hate.
Oh, he did put
maybe
loved.
maybe you don't hate me anymore. You loved to hate me before, but maybe now you'll vote
now
for
he's
me.
running. That's a good
Maybe
point.
now you'll vote for me.
Good catch.
But he is confessing to something.
But this
that
is terrible what he did.
It is really, really bad. He violated a friend's trust and made a lot of money while doing it, according to Spencer.
I'm shocked at this. I'm shocked he said it.
Yes, has to do with his buddy Max Winkler, who is the
son of Henry and Stacey Winkler, and now a famous director.
Right. So
really
he and Spencer were friends growing up, and he's in the book. Spencer says that confesses really, that he took photos of Max and which one of the
Mary
Olsen
Kate
twins,
Olsen.
Mary Kate, they were dating, and that Spencer took photos of them from Max's house and sold them to different publications
for $50,000. And Max, he had even asked Max about taking the pictures, and didn't Max say
said no?
No. Max said he could take them. So this is the background. So they were friends at the time. Max had just broken up with Mary Kate. I guess he had in his room a shrine of different photos of them together, partying, going on vacation. So he took them as like they went through the breakup, and he's like, "You got to move on, man." Took the photos.
Spencer said that to Max.
Took the photos and then sold them to In Touch later.
I thought Max had said no.
No. So he obviously
up.
Max didn't know he sold the photos, but even today, Spencer says he has zero remorse because he felt like two things. One, it helped Max, his friend, get over the breakup, and
How? When all of a sudden you're splashed?
Oh, because the photos weren't there?
This is from Spencer. And then two, he feels like it helped Mary Kate because she, at the time, was trying to rebrand her image to be like not just the little girl on Full House.
Oh, so Spencer's the publicist.
So he sells photos of her
partying
drinking
and
and
stuff
partying.
in Europe. So.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
And he used that money to film, I guess, a movie.
Spencer was getting ahead of an issue. Because
Yeah,
he's running for mayor.
I feel like this might have come up in a debate.
He's running for LA mayor, and I know it sounds crazy, guys, but it's not. Spencer got a lot of publicity in LA during the fires and after the fires, and he has been a very loud
does
voice.
not help
It doesn't.
people taking him as a serious candidate.
But I'm just going to say, serious candidate. You know, when Donald Trump ran, he said things that were off the rails, and then talked about immigration and the economy. And so, you know, you don't have to be a singular person with one lane. And Spencer, I'm telling you, the fires resonate with people in terms of leadership.
But let me paint.
I'm not saying he's going to win, but I'm saying he's a contender.
Let me paint a very bizarre picture for you. Can you imagine a debate between Mayor Bass, Spencer Pratt, maybe there's some other candidates, and Mayor Bass has to say, do you know Max Winkler, Spencer?
Yeah.
Do you know Max Winkler? And that she's going to bring up this story.
And then he's going to say, and you were where in Africa during the fires? I am telling you, Charles, this feels like 2016 with the presidential debate when you see Spencer on that stage.
May Duran from New York City. I just want to say I'm not surprised that this is coming from Spencer Pratt. He definitely would not be getting my vote, but I'm not from Cali. I would say, though, this does remind me in the early 2000s when he was on a show called The Hills, and he leaked a rumor about Lauren Conrad and Jason that they had a sex tape. So this is the same guy who also is selling, pics of Mary Kay and saying that it's a good thing. And now he wants to, no, we had Trump. We learned from that. So I don't think we should give Spencer this opportunity.
When you put it that way.
There is something to, in LA, being Trump-like isn't necessarily going to help you win an election. In LA, anyway.
But just being loud does. It just does.
We see plenty of Hollywood premieres. The First Lady isn't doing Hollywood premieres. She does it bigger. Because Melania Trump, her documentary is coming out in theaters this weekend. And to celebrate that, she didn't walk a red carpet. She just set off the biggest thing in finance. She got to ring the opening bell on the stock exchange and had some words as she did that.
It's an honor to be on Wall Street in the New York Stock Exchange, just 2 days before the global launch of my new film, Melania. We need stories that inspire dreams, offer hope, tales of redemption, sad stories, love stories, and funny stories. We want to feel human. My new film, Melania, provides a window into an important period for America, the 47th presidential inauguration. For the first time in history, people will witness the 20 days leading up to the inauguration through the eyes of an incoming First Lady.
I was just looking, I'm wondering like if the stock exchange floor, if that's the audience she's going for, like how effective is this going to be?
Because we're doing it.
Yeah.
And so the idea is it's going to get picked up. Here's the bottom line to this, and this really is bottom line. The film is costing Amazon about $70 million when you look at production and marketing. It is estimated to make $1 to $5 million this weekend, and they're having trouble selling tickets. It's getting 20% on Rotten Tomatoes. So you think, oh my God, this is just a disaster for Amazon. Jeff Bezos is sucking up to the president. That's why they did it.
It's the
that
price
may
of
be
doing
true.
business.
But guess what? Guess what Amazon made last year? $4.5 billion.
It's the cost of doing business,
It's the
right?
cost of doing business.
Right. This is just
the cost of doing
It's basically,
business.
it's almost like a campaign
It's a loss
donation.
leader.
Well, and,
loss leader.
And there's some background deals going on. I think it's pretty obvious at this point. Brett Ratner, who's the director of this documentary, is now going to do Rush Hour 4. And this is his big catapult back into the industry after he was in Hollywood jail after those accusations. Now, this morning, I did my own poking around at almost every theater and, well, SoCal. Not that great for this weekend.
It's not going to be.
It's going to be a very
This is a middle of the country.
A very soft. But that's interesting though because it's a wide opening. It's not a select independent film. It's a wide opening, so it is interesting.
This is a loss
leader. The previews. I'm not going to say what Amazon's thinking or what happened, but it's pretty obvious. What this is never going to go off.
What Amazon's thinking is they made $4.5 billion.
They did.
And they're all sucking up to the president.
Well, there was a huge bidding war that included Disney for this film. It couldn't be more obvious what's going on here.
It's so clear.
Coming up. The trial that everyone is anticipating and wanting to see happen, that is the case of Matt Kalil, who is suing his ex, Hayley, for speaking out about the size of his family jewel. Well, Hayley is saying, no, this is a ridiculous lawsuit.
Be right back.
Well, the trial that everyone is anticipating and for obvious reasons wanting to see happen, that is the case of Matt Kalil, the former NFL player who is suing his ex, Hayley, for speaking out about the size of his family
penis.
jewel.
And so what he's saying is that Matt's wife, his new wife, is getting just trashed online. People are making jokes about her anatomy and what Matt has done to it because his prior
Because Hayley, remember, Hayley did this interview with for a
describing
blog
the girth and size, which was enormous and blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden, now the new wife is getting trashed. So he's suing for invasion of privacy, arguing that you cannot disclose anything sexual to the public.
Well, Hayley is saying, no, this is a ridiculous lawsuit, and she's asking the judge to throw it out. These are some of the reasons her lawyers have put forward. They said, we moved to dismiss the complaint because Minnesota has a long-standing commitment to free speech, which is important now more than ever. Interesting. Allowing a lawsuit to proceed against a woman for sharing a truthful autobiographical account of sexual trauma would directly undermine those core values.
There are two problems with this. One is that you say it's truthful. You can still invade privacy. You can have a lawsuit for invasion of privacy even if the facts are true. It's just how far you go. The second thing that's odd here is arguing, look, I actually think the case should be tossed, but arguing that she's talking about sexual trauma. It may be to her, but that suggests wrongdoing on his part, and there was none.
And there was no wrongdoing.
That's right. So I think when you say sexual trauma, the implication is it's the result of wrongdoing, and it's not.
No, I mean, all she was talking about was just that it was painful for her, but she wasn't blaming him. In fact, she said really nice things about Matt.
Right, but calling it sexual trauma implies something that isn't
there. Yeah, I get your point. That it does
But
sort of
Matt's
have
people
that.
are also saying she is missing the entire point here, is that she is profiting off of his private information, things that he did not want ever out in the public. And she's pointing that, well, I said he's a nice guy. No, that's not the point.
No, I know they said that, but how is she profiting? I mean, she just did an interview.
She is an influencer. She makes money off of her image, off of everything that she makes.
Even if you show what?
Being in the headlines, that means she's going to get more opportunities now because she's going to be the girl with the ex who has a big penis.
But that's what people do when they write memoirs. They make money off of it by spilling the beans. I'm not saying it's right, but it happens every day. Everybody's memoir talks about an
Britney
ex.
Spears and Kevin Federline just went back and forth on this, and both of them were able to say whatever they wanted.
And they made money. And they made money. So money is irrelevant to this. What's relevant is, you know, is she allowed to talk about details of a relationship, especially when it doesn't involve any wrongdoing on his part?
Right.
I
mean, what you're saying is that legally speaking, it should probably be tossed out. And unfortunately for Matt's current wife, the social media backlash or whatever she's getting,
you take what
the
you
bullying
get.
that she's getting,
you have to
she's
take
just gonna have to take it.
That's right.
My name's Allie. I'm 27. I'm from Hoboken, New Jersey. I can see both sides here. The thing is that it is like freedom of speech with what Hallie's saying. And the fact that she is an influencer and in the public eye, obviously she's sharing her own experiences about her marriage. At the time when she made the comments, they were no longer married, right? So he has to expect by suing her that he's going to be giving more attention to this case. He should be trying to make lemons out of lemonade. She made a Coke comment and maybe do like a Calvin Klein ad or collab with Coke and try to make lemons out of lemonade here. But you have to expect by her being an influencer, public speaker,
with his wife.
to stick it out.
That doesn't help the situation with his current wife.
She should do a Coke commercial.
No.
Oh, I love it.
No.
I love it.
Absolutely not.
Coming up.
We've got an important mom group update. The mom group drama here in Hollywood. Only in Hollywood is this even something that people are talking about. There is an update from the Duff arena, but not Hillary Duff. That's what makes this interesting. Hayley Duff.
Wait a minute. Hayley and Hillary don't get along.
Be right back.
All right, we've got an important mom group update. The mom group drama here in Hollywood. Only in Hollywood is this even something that people are talking about. You know, Ashley Tisdale did an interview where she said that her mom group is toxic and she's gonna have to leave them alone. And then everyone pointed out that the people in the mom group are Hillary Duff,
Mandy Moore,
and Meghan Trainor. Right. And all of them have been buzzing about this ever since. There is an update from the Duff arena, but not Hillary Duff. That's what makes this interesting. Hayley Duff.
Wait a minute. Hayley and Hillary don't get along.
They don't get along. They've been estranged reportedly for quite some time. But guess who Hayley is apparently cozying up to? Ashley Tisdale.
Ooh.
At least their kids are hanging out together, but both of them posted
they took
the
their
photos.
Kids, so they're together.
Yes, and Ashley posted the photos, and so did Hayley, of their kids hanging out.
But the kids are way different in age. One is 7 and one is 4. So
Which also makes it seem forced, right?
It's totally forced.
That the only reason they're posting these is a dig at Hillary.
Well, I think it's definitely obviously intentional that they posted it publicly, but Hayley was on my radar when this was going down because everyone noticed that they follow each other, Ashley and Hayley, but obviously Hillary doesn't follow Ashley, vice versa, and Hayley and Hillary don't follow each other, but people were like, oh yeah, they're estranged, but it's crazy that they're friends. Maybe it's some sort of
enemy of my enemy.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But she also has a song, Hillary, on her new album that people think is about Hayley called We Don't Talk.
Get alive.
Tune in next week when we go to the playground and we see what happens when their kids get on a merry-go-round. Do they even have merry-go-rounds anymore? Probably not. Wow.
Hi, I'm Jonah from Houston, Texas. Thank you guys for having me. I mean, are these ladies still in high school? What is going on? These are grown women fighting over a friendship. They should be able to like whoever they want to like. They sound very immature to me.
It's ridiculous.
It's totally immature.
Before we move on, I just got to tell you something that just happened that's so ridiculous.
Tawanda?
So I get text messages.
Your thing is ridiculous,
I get
too.
text messages sometimes, with stories that I'm working on. So we were doing our last segment, and I saw a text message, and it said, Lionel Richie, and then it said something with Earth, Wind, and Fire, and I thought, something happened to
this
one of them.
guy yells across the news when we went to commercial. He yells like it's...
What happened to Lionel Richie?
Like it's breaking news. Hey, we got to get on the story. I'm like, dude, it's Ticketmaster. They're going on tour. It's just a Ticketmaster alert.
I didn't know.
What else do you guys want to talk about?
My name is Maya. I'm from Tennessee, and I think it's absolutely disheartening to watch Nicki Minaj align herself with this administration, especially given the fact that she also is an immigrant and the way that she entered the U.S. She was an immigrant, which I believe she was undocumented. So to watch her support this administration that has consistently undermined these people's rights, vulnerable immigrant communities, disregard of due process altogether, it's crazy.
So let me ask you a quick question. Mm-hmm. So what percentage of people are going to leave Nicki's base because of this? What do you think?
I think a lot. I think a lot of people that support her are minority communities. So I think that she is risking a bit of her fan base for sure.
Okay. Okay.
We will see. That, by the way, the part about her being undocumented, that Nicki, she admits that she was when she entered the country.
Right. Okay. One more.
Hi, this is Barb in Connecticut, where Martha Stewart is from, and she's amazing, but as a fellow bedrotter, I am exhausted to hear of everything that she accomplishes before she leaves the house. I wish she could bottle up that energy or give me the recipe and sell it because I would buy it.
Wait, Barb, hold on. What was the phrase you said? Bedrotter?
Yeah.
What's that?
It's the area, right?
Yeah, she's from Connecticut, but bedrotting is when you like to sit in bed and do all of your work in bed, you work from home.
No, it's not a city. He thought it was the...
Coming up.
Coco Gauff is getting some support after that tantrum she threw after losing big upset that she lost at the Australian Open. And a lot of people were critical. We talked about this yesterday. No less an authority on tennis than the GOAT herself, Serena Williams.
Be right back.
Well, Coco Gauff is getting some support after that tantrum she threw after losing at the Australian Open. And a lot of people were critical. We talked about this yesterday. No less an authority on tennis than the GOAT herself, Serena Williams, is supporting her. In fact, Serena's husband, Alexis, also supporting her. So Alexis posted this first. He said, not gonna lie, I love this energy and emotion from Coco. We love sports because it's raw, because these athletes put their all into the battle. And sometimes, like life, you don't win. Media are gonna spin this private moment for a headline to get some clicks, but Coco did nothing wrong here. Serena jumped on and said, well said, Alexis. Passion, caring, matters. Nothing wrong with hating to lose. Now, Coco, when you want, I can show you how to demolish in one swipe.
Yeah,
Serena style.
That to me is the big takeaway.
That's the problem.
The big takeaway. Look, everybody does
Where's
this.
your strength?
Everybody who plays tennis does this. But Serena can do it in one motion. And Coco, she just kept hitting and hitting and hitting. And it's sort of like, what's wrong with me that I can't break this rack? You just see her just go boom, boom, boom. And by the way, Alexis, seriously, I mean, we're not going to show that on, in the media. I mean, of course, we show it with men. We show it with women.
Clickbaiting.
No,
Look at
it's just part of the game. It's part of the game.
Indeed.